Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving right into a struggle every English learner faces. Why do we forget words, even after hours of study? Julia, have you ever been excited about a new word, only to blank on it later?
Oh, absolutely, Jason. I've lost count of the times I memorized word lists, felt prepared, but when conversation came, my mind was a total blank. It can feel discouraging, almost like all that effort was wasted.
You're not alone. There's actually a scientific explanation for this, called the forgetting curve. Our brains are wired to drop information that doesn't seem important, especially if we don't review it. Picture your memory like a library, only the books you take out often stay on the front shelves.
That analogy makes sense. I always thought I just had a bad memory, but it's really about how our brains prioritize. Plus, when I tried to cram 50 new words in one sitting, it just felt overwhelming, like pouring a bucket of water into a tiny cup.
Exactly. Cramming and lack of real-life connections both make it harder to retain words. For example, you might remember umbrella forever if it's tied to a vivid rainy day memory, but random vocabulary often fades. This sets us up perfectly to talk about how memory actually works for language learning. Now that we know why forgetting happens, let's explore the positive side, how our brains can remember words for the long term. Julia, have you noticed certain words just stick with you, almost effortlessly?
Definitely, Jason. Words like delicious are forever linked with pizza in my mind. It's like there's a super highway to those words, while others get lost on back roads.
That's a perfect metaphor. The more you use a word, the wider and smoother its mental road becomes. This is why repetition is crucial. But there's another trick: multisensory learning. When you connect a word to images, sounds, and emotions, your brain creates extra hooks to pull it back.
So it's not just about repeating words, but making them come alive? Like saying apple while picturing one and imagining its taste. I remember awkward thanks to an embarrassing classroom moment. It's burned into my memory.
Exactly. Emotional or personal experiences powerfully anchor words. By using repetition, creating associations, and engaging senses, you help your brain store words more deeply. Next, let's unpack a common confusion: the difference between knowing words and actually using them. Before we get practical, it's vital to understand the divide between passive and active vocabulary. Julia, do you remember how these terms first confused you?
Yes. I thought knowing a word meant I could use it, but I'd read complicated in books and never used it myself. It just sat in my brain's storage room.
That's spot on. Passive vocabulary is what you recognize when reading or listening. Active vocabulary is what you can recall and use in conversation or writing. Many learners build huge passive vocabularies but feel stuck when speaking because those words haven't moved into active use.
It's like watching bike riding videos but never pedaling yourself. I started challenging myself to use 3 new words daily, even just talking to myself. Slowly, those words became easier to use.
Exactly. Active practice is the only way to transfer words from passive storage to real-life use. Speaking, writing, and thinking in English, even in small daily moments, are how you grow your active vocabulary. Let's move into actionable techniques that make these transitions easier. It's time for powerful, practical methods to help new words truly stick. Julia, which strategy do you wish you'd discovered sooner?
I wish I'd learned to group words by theme like kitchen items or emotions. It's much easier to remember knife, fork, spoon, and plate together instead of random lists.
Exactly. Chunking words into categories creates mental folders your brain loves. Another top strategy is using visual images and mind maps. Draw a simple picture for each word, or connect related ideas. Even stick figures or mental images work wonders.
I also found word families helpful. Learning happy, happiness, and unhappy together made the root words stick, and it made me more flexible in how I use them.
That's a great point. And don't forget learning words in real-life sentences like, I carry an umbrella when it rains. Plus, teaching new words to someone else, or even an imaginary class, forces your brain to process and remember them deeply.
These ideas turned vocabulary study from a chore into a game. When I started using them, I saw my recall and confidence soar. Coming up, let's tackle a scientifically proven method that supercharges memory: spaced repetition.
Now, Julia, let's unpack spaced repetition, a favorite technique of language experts worldwide. Have you tried it before?
I've heard about it, but was never sure how to start. Is it really that much better than cramming?
Absolutely. Spaced repetition works like watering a plant. Instead of flooding your brain all at once, you review words at increasing intervals day 1, then day 2, then day 4, day 8, and so on. This pattern helps your brain shift words from short-term to long-term memory.
That makes sense. Giving my brain gentle reminders instead of overwhelming it. Are there tools to help with this? I sometimes forget to review on schedule.
Great question. Apps like Anki, Quizlet, and Memrise use spaced repetition algorithms to automate your review sessions. But even simple flashcards and a calendar can work. The real secret is consistency. Just 10 minutes a day can dramatically increase retention.
I love that. It feels manageable, not overwhelming. So, instead of trying to remember everything at once, I build my vocabulary naturally over time. Next, let's talk about bringing those words to life in our daily routines.
Now for the most crucial tip, using new words in daily life. Julia, did you ever notice words vanish if you didn't practice them outside the classroom?
Absolutely. Words I only wrote down disappeared fast, but if I used them even just talking to myself while cooking or cleaning, they stuck around much longer.
Exactly. You don't need a language partner to practice. Narrating your actions, labeling objects in your home with sticky notes, or writing a short daily journal are all simple ways to make new vocabulary part of your routine.
I found writing even a few sentences each night using new words helped me remember them, and labeling things like refrigerator or mirror gave me visual reminders throughout the day.
That's the key, integrate words into your real experiences. Even small, consistent uses like sending a chat message or leaving yourself a voice note build those memory pathways. Next, let's explore a creative, memorable way to lock in vocabulary: storytelling. Storytelling transforms vocabulary practice from memorization to adventure. Julia, do you have a favorite story that helped you remember a tricky word?
Yes, I'll never forget embarrassed after creating a story about going to school with my shirt inside out. That silly image made the word impossible to forget.
That's the magic. Your brain loves stories because they connect words to emotions and images. Similarly, mnemonics fun, memorable tricks can make even the hardest words stick. For example, to remember bizarre, picture a market where elephants sell ice cream. The crazier, the better.
I also use the classic mnemonic for dessert versus desert, 2 S's for dessert, because you always want seconds. These playful associations take the pressure off and make learning enjoyable.
Exactly. Whether it's a rhyme, a funny image, or connecting a word to someone you know, mnemonics and storytelling give your memory an extra hook. Next, let's talk about common mistakes learners make and how to avoid them. As we wrap up, let's highlight common mistakes that slow down vocabulary growth. Julia, can you recall any habits that held you back early on?
Definitely trying to memorize too many words at once. I'd cram 50 words in a night and forget most by morning. It made learning feel impossible.
That's a classic trap. Another is learning words in isolation, memorizing lists without context. It's like knowing puzzle pieces, but never seeing the full picture. And, of course, fearing mistakes keeps people from using new words at all.
I used to avoid new words in conversation, worried I'd sound silly. But only by using them, even imperfectly, did I actually remember them. Mistakes are part of the journey.
Exactly. Small, focused practice, learning in context, and embracing errors are the path to progress. And remember, forgetting is normal. It's a sign your brain is learning, not failing. Let's finish with a practical daily routine for lasting results. To tie everything together, Julia, what would your ideal daily vocabulary routine look like for our listeners?
I'd recommend just 15-20 minutes a day. Start with 5 minutes reviewing old words using flashcards or an app like Anki. Then spend 5 minutes learning 3 to 5 new words with images, stories, or mnemonics.
Next, dedicate 5 minutes to writing or speaking sentences using those new words either in a journal or just thinking out loud. Finally, sprinkle in practice throughout your day by labeling objects or narrating your actions.
Mixing methods speaking, writing, listening, and even drawing keeps learning fresh and uses more parts of your brain. And by using spaced repetition, you reinforce memory without feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly. Consistency, creativity, and context are your best friends. Stick with this simple routine, and you'll be amazed at how quickly your vocabulary grows. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Remember to keep learning and keep smiling.
Thank you for listening. Try out these tips and let us know what works for you. See you next time on the English Learning Podcast.